Every school has that one hallway you don't walk down. Every library has that door you're not supposed to open. And every computer lab has at least one screen that just won't turn off. These aren't ghost stories. These are real places people found and were never supposed to. 3 stories. 3 places that shouldn't exist. And somehow, they do. Let's begin. I was a senior at a public high school in Pennsylvania. Our school wasn't exactly state of the art. Half the lockers didn't even have doors, and most of the buildings still had that old 70s tile and yellow lighting. But what freaked everyone out was the locker wing near the old gym. See, the school used to have 2 gyms. One was decommissioned after some ceiling collapse in the 90s. That wing was mostly sealed off. Mostly. There was a hallway just outside the old gym that still had some functioning lockers. It was dim, cold, and always smelled like mildew. For some reason, my locker that year was assigned in that hallway. I was the only one who had to go down there regularly. One day in late October, I was getting my hoodie before 6th period when I noticed something strange. A new locker. Row 18 had always had 7 lockers, but now there was an 8th. I thought maybe the janitors were replacing the broken ones, but this one didn't match. The paint was darker, the lock was different, and it had no number. I ran my hand across it. It was freezing cold, like metal that had been outside. That night, I told my friend Brandon. He dared me to open it. I laughed, saying I didn't have the key. He goes, "Well, let's try it anyway." The next morning before school, we went back. He brought a flashlight and a screwdriver. When we popped the door open, it made the loudest screeching metal sound I've ever heard. Inside was nothing. Just an empty, pitch-black space. Not even walls. Like it went deep. Brandon shined the flashlight inside, and the beam just disappeared into the darkness. No reflection, no end. He stuck his hand inside jokingly and immediately yanked it back. He said it felt like wet air. We slammed it shut. The next day, I walked by again. The locker was gone. Just gone. There was a patch of floor that looked recently scrubbed, and now row 18 only had 6 lockers. I checked the school's master locker list in the front office. There was never a row 18, not even a wing called Old Gym East. I still think about that locker. Brandon doesn't remember it at all anymore, like it was erased from his memory, but I do. I remember reaching for the handle and feeling like something on the other side was reaching for me too. My name's Evan. This happened when I was a senior in high school. I was part of the yearbook committee, and one of our jobs near the end of the year was organizing hundreds of photos and student names in the school's computer lab. The lab was usually locked after 4 p.m., but I had a special key card that let me in for after-hours editing. One evening in early May, I stayed behind after everyone else had gone home. I lost track of time sorting through files. At some point, I looked up and realized it was pitch black outside. It was 9:12 p.m. I started packing up when I noticed something weird on one of the computers a few seats down. All the monitors had gone to sleep, except one. It was glowing softly, a blank desktop screen. I walked over to shut it off, but before I could touch anything, a program opened on its own. Just a black terminal window. A few seconds passed. Then a line typed itself in. "Hello, Evan." I froze. I hadn't typed anything. The keyboard was untouched. A few more seconds. Then, "I like watching you stay late." My heart dropped. I backed away from the chair. The screen kept updating. "Don't leave just yet. Let's talk." I grabbed my bag, swiped my card to exit, but the door didn't unlock. Tried again. Nothing. The lights in the hallway beyond the glass door flickered off. Every computer in the lab suddenly turned on. One by one, they booted up, word to life, and displayed the same thing. A live camera feed of the room, from a high corner angle. I looked around. There were no visible cameras anywhere in the room. Then the speaker system in the lab crackled. A voice, static-filled, robotic, low-pitched, whispered, "Turn around." I didn't want to, but something in me made me do it. There was a figure standing at the back of the lab. Not a person. Not exactly. It was shaped like a man, but pixelated, like a glitched-out video game character. Head twitching, arms dangling. Skin texture looked like static. It took a step forward, and the lights cut out completely. In the pitch black, I heard the chairs around the room begin to roll and shift. I swear I heard something crawl in the ceiling. I remember screaming. Then, I was waking up. The morning custodian was shaking me awake from under one of the desks. I had bruises down my arm and scratches on my back. The lab door was unlocked, and all the computers were off. When I asked the tech admin about security footage, he said, "The lab doesn't have cameras. Never has." A week later, this happened during my sophomore year of college. I was a library assistant for extra credit, which mostly meant helping students find books, reshelving returns, and logging overdue fines. One rainy Tuesday, my supervisor, Mrs. Walker, asked me to go retrieve a box of old psychology journals from the basement archive, a place I had never even heard of. She handed me an old silver key and said, "It's just past the supply closet. You'll see a gray door. Don't be down there too long." That last part stuck with me. I followed her instructions. The door was where she said and the key worked. The air beyond it was stale and cold. The walls were raw concrete. I had never seen this part of the library before, and I'd worked there for months. There were rows of tall metal shelves filled with labeled cardboard boxes. I found the one marked Psych Department, 1981 to 1989. But as I pulled it from the shelf, I heard a knock. Just one. It came from the end of the row. I peeked around the corner. No one. Then another knock. This time on the metal vent directly behind me. I backed away, fast. I turned to head back to the door, but it was gone. Literally gone. Just a solid wall now. No handle, no frame. I dropped the box and started walking quickly down the central aisle, heart pounding. Then I heard it. A whisper. Not in my ear, in my head. Like it was bypassing my ears entirely. It said, "File not found." I turned a corner and came face to face with something I still can't fully explain. A humanoid figure made entirely of paper. Torn pages, all stitched together in a vaguely human shape. Where the face should have been was just one single yellowed index card that said, "Return overdue." It tilted its head at me, then opened its chest like a cabinet. Inside were dozens of old student ID cards, some with dates going back to the 70s. That's when I ran. I sprinted back down the aisle, not even looking back. Just as I was about to give up, the wall cracked open. The door returned. I fell through it, slamming it behind me. I was shaking. Mrs. Walker was standing at the counter, staring at me. She looked down at my hands. "Where's the box?" I didn't answer. I quit that job the next day. Months later, I tried to find that basement door again. It wasn't there. No keyhole, no door frame, nothing but blank wall. I asked one of the new librarians about the archive. She just said, "We've never had a basement, just the staff closet." I still have dreams about the paper figure. In the last one, it handed me a card with my name on it.